Welcome back to my channel. My name is Fazila Bijo, and I want to actually just expand a little bit more about why I have chosen to do a teaching series on the book Feeling is the Secret. Now, knowledge of the law of assumption is very important because we need to realize that the law of assumption is always playing out. It's always been in our reality. It is how we create, which is our consciousness creates our reality. But consciousness is made up of certain aspects, which when you can understand how to operate the law, you can actually become quite a potent manifester. My intention with working and helping you understand what consciousness is made up of, how to operate the law, how to use feeling and your imagination in order to create what you most wish to have as your reality, is so that you can become. This next video that I have available in the series is to help you understand the key component of prayer. Now, this is not in the religious sense, I must state up front, because like sleep, prayer is a gateway to the subconscious. Now, if you had the means, and it's very easy to employ prayer in the way that Neville teaches it, why wouldn't you want to use it? Why would you deprive yourself because you may have certain preconceived ideas, judgments, or conclusions about what it is based on your old experiences? I'm a mentor rather than a coach because I really want to impart the knowledge of how to become more effective, how to become better because of the things that I have experienced and what I've changed and transformed in my life. I really want to help those who are open and ready and willing. Now, that's the key part in terms of whether someone will resonate or not, in terms of what I bring and what I teach. It is up to the individual to decide for themselves whether they want to have a quick fix, which may not be a lasting solution, or to really spend a little bit more time working on their understanding, working on deconditioning, and then installing a new path, a new progression, a new way of being able to create and manifest. So I truly suggest that you do not leave any gaps in your knowledge and your understanding of what manifestation truly is. Because if you don't know how to program and how to also decondition your subconscious mind, you are forever going to repeat the programmings that have already been installed in you, which I will add is probably not all yours. In fact, I'm going to say is definitely not all yours. I want you to understand that prayer is not as defined in a religious sense. Prayer is another gateway to the subconscious. Being able to understand how to operate the law of assumption and how to employ the process and the method of prayer is going to help you to reprogram the subconscious. So when we look at our desires, one of the things is our object, the visible state, what is already in our reality was once a desire. It was once invisible. It was subjective, because your subjective state, what you do in your imagination, brings about the objective state, which is the desire in your reality. So let me say this again. What you desire, so if it is a new job that you're wishing to manifest, that is invisible. It is in your imagination. It is in the dimensionally larger, the quantum field, the universe, etc. That is invisible. You are the one that is calling it into being. Now, it is like the genie giving you your wish. When you believe in that invisible desire right now, it becomes an object in your reality and it becomes visible. So you call into visibility by assuming the feeling of that reality. So you call a job into a visible state by feeling and knowing that it is real, that you see it is possible. Because whatever we can imagine, we can realize. And we do this. The creative process is imagining and believing. Now, do not be fooled by how important then it is in order to effectively go into this, into prayer, as well as being able to prepare for sleep. And I talk about that in a previous video if you haven't watched it, if you haven't already watched it. Now, I've mentioned this in the chapter on sleep. Do not go to bed with regret. Now, Neville says, let the dead bury the dead. What that means is any state that is not in alignment, it is not going to give you your desire, is dead. It is not a state you wish to be in. So please turn away from your regret. Do away with the regret. Let it go. Become the one who only sees the desire that they wish to have. Remember what I said in the previous slide already? We make the invisible visible. So equally, we could be focusing on regret and we make regret visible in our lives. How? We're wanting a job. We have these, we may have a state of, I don't know how this is going to go, or I didn't do so well in the interview. I didn't come across well. If you live with that regret, you are going to create a state that is going to become visible in your reality. So remember, you are the operant power. You operate the law, which means that you are the one that is in control of the law of assumption, which is consciousness creates reality. Now, again, I just want to emphasize, do not waste one moment in regret. For to think feelingly, which means to think, have a strong feeling of the mistakes of the past, is to reinfect yourself with that thinking, and that thinking is going to create more of the state that you did not want to create, but you are already perpetuating, because you are believing in that state of regret or the state of failure or whatever else isn't in alignment with your desire, but you believe it to be the only reality for yourself. And so we come to prayer. I want to emphasize, prayer is not a religious method, or it's not religious in any way, shape, or form. In fact, prayer is an illusion of sleep, which is how we're going to find out how do you utilize prayer in order to diminish the state that you do not want. So the thing that you do not want, how do you bring prayer in to make you more receptive to receiving that which you want more of? So a mind in prayer is really in a state of relaxation. And it is in a state where it believes, the mind, you train the mind to believe that you already have that which you desire. When you go into prayer, into the state of prayer, it really is dropping in and achieving the state of calmness, of peace, of being already in the place where you know that your desire is yours. And we do not pray from a space of I do not have. Now, most prayer comes from a space of lack. As we observe here in this scene, we have someone down on their knees. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about prayer being where you are petitioning, where you are pleading. No. In the Feeling is the Secret, we look at prayer in terms of it is mine, it is done. It is not what you ask for, it is how you prepare for its reception. When we receive something, we are bringing it in, we already have it. We are fulfilled. It is a given. We don't seek outside. We already have it within. And that's this is where you are now telling your subconscious, I'm so happy to have, thank you for this job. Thank you for this amazing partner. You must already see that your prayer is answered. Assume the feeling of how would you be when you have that objective or you have that desire, that goal is yours. How would you be experiencing the world? Would you be seeing that would you be feeling that you don't have a job, or would you be, wow, I have it, I nailed that interview, I've signed the documents, I have that dream job. So I've mentioned, and I really want to emphasize, prayer is the gateway to the subconscious. And therefore, it is important that you start to understand how it is that you should pray. Now, again, I'm going to expand on this. Prayer is how you prepare for the reception of your desire. You assume the feeling of being and having that which you want. Even if your senses, so your eyes are telling you, I don't have that partner, or you hear things that say, oh, are you still single? What you're going to do is not buy into what your senses are actually telling you. But when you pray, when you drop into that state of, wow, I have this and it is mine. I have that partner, I have that job, I have that, the money that I was desiring. You already have welcomed it. It is yours. It is in your imagination, in which you are now imprinting into the subconscious that you have it. So to pray successfully means you must yield to the wish that you may think is not there. You're not seeing it in your physical world, but you know you already have it within. It is yours. You have become the person who has that prayer. Because your subconscious cannot make the distinction between what hasn't happened and you not having that particular desire, you not having that particular wish that you would have wanted to, you are desiring to have fulfilled. So all you are to do is forget about the facts in your outside world. You are to drop into the space, and prayer can happen at any time, and you don't need a lengthy prayer either. You must just get into the space of, I have that job that I've been wanting, and you feel into, what would it feel like? Who would I be? How would I be speaking? How would I be walking? What would my body language be? And you do not entertain a feeling that you do not have it. You must believe your prayer is already realized. To pray is to prepare for having that desire in your life. Because the moment you accept it as a fact that you have accomplished this, the subconscious will find a means for it to become real. So I'm going to say that again. The moment you accept that your desire, your wish, your objective is done, you have accomplished it. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference, that it isn't in your reality yet, except if you push into believing what is out in your physical world. You are now training the subconscious to find the means for its realization. Accepted as accomplished is what you will attract. Because this quote says, you never attract that which you want. but always attract that which you are conscious of being, which means if you're conscious of not having a job, that is what you create. If you are conscious of not having that partner, that is what you're going to attract. So before you pray, you must deny what your senses are telling you about not having or being in lack. You must get into the state of, I have. Isn't it wonderful? I have my dream job. And you can expand on what that dream job is with a few details, but we don't want to make it very lengthy. So you must be able to drop in and feel what it would be like to have that dream job. So you should not also be in the state of mind where you're saying, I should like to, but I cannot, or I wish I had. It is never to be in the future tense, and it is always to be the state of when you pray should always be a given. You have it already. Who would you be before you go into your prayer? Who would you be when you have that? And when you drop into the state of prayer, it is about going into the space of, as you would with sleep, you go into that space of being silent, you go into that space of being quiet, and you drop into that space of total relaxation, and you see what you want to see, you hear what you want to hear. So imagine you have realized your wish. Not how it was realized. You do not look at that. The how is not up to you. Simply go into the state of the wish fulfilled. Imagine a picture form of what you want to achieve and what you desire in life. Now feel yourself having already achieved it. You are now going to drop into that state of prayer where you just sit back in an armchair, and you can do this in your waking time, you can do this before you go to sleep. There is no limitation on this. You can now sit back and in your mind's eye, what would it feel like when I have that job? Oh, I would feel uplifted. I love this amazing job. You drop into that space. You drop into that feeling of having it already. And like I said, it's not in the future. It's all happening now. Oh, isn't it wonderful that I have that amazing, loving, caring partner? You don't have to know all of the details right now. You just drop into your body and you feel what it would feel like. It feels so good. It feels amazing. It feels like you have this perfect, wonderful, amazing partner, and you don't have to see who it is. You just have to receive it. You have to see it is done. Now, this is how we utilize the faculty and the power of our imagination. Is we must know how to tell the subconscious mind, this is the idea I wish to impress upon my subconscious mind. This is the desire I have that I wish to achieve. If you have any comments or questions about prayer, or you want to know anything further about what I've discussed in this video, please be sure to drop your comments and I will respond. Please like and subscribe so that you are kept informed in terms of when my new videos come out. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me.